Welcome to another round of the Red Clay Soccer Report, powered by our friends at NoFo Brewing. John Nelson here with you. Time to take you through the end of regular season play, literally the last weekends when it comes to some of the men's soccer action in and around the footprint. And you get into conference play on both sides, and we'll take a peek at as many of the conferences as we can track down and get your information and get you ready for the postseason in some and get you ready for championship action in the midweek in others. Let's start things off in the Sun Conference, and it's going to be a wandering of the Sun, the Peach Belt. It is going to be the activity in the SoCon, the Sun Belt, and the SSAC. We'll take a peek at what's going on in the Gulf South and the SAA and a couple of others as we go in the AAC. But we'll start things off in the Sun Conference and take a peek at what's going on with SCAD, and SCAD nationally ranked and chasing after yet another championship, and it would come up short in conference play. And we'll let you know what happened there on the women's side. When you look at the championship set for Wednesday, it's going to be Kaiser and Southeastern in Lakeland, but SCAD's tour came to a close, losing to Kaiser 4-1 in the semifinals back on Saturday in West Palm Beach. Southeastern knocking off St. Thomas by the score of 1-0. On the men's side, in the conference tournament, it is going to be Kaiser and St. Thomas again at noon on Wednesday. SCAD losing to St. Thomas in the semifinal in Miami Gardens by the score of 3-0. Now, in the Peach Belt Conference, it's activity on the men's and the women's side, and you were getting a lot of conference tournament play. We'll start things off in the men's soccer action and looking at the schedule as it goes, and we take it all the way down into the conference play and the weekend because you're getting really close to the championships in and of it themselves. Back on Saturday, Flagler put 7 on Aiken. Clayton State in 2 overtimes, and Morrow beat Georgia Southwestern by the score of 2-1. Lander shut out Middle Georgia by the score of 3-0 in Greenwood. And so what that does, in effect, is that now pushes everything forward to the Final Four in the Peach Belt. On the left-hand side of the bracket, North Georgia was waiting for everyone else on the men's side of things, and they are going to be facing Clayton State. It's 1-4 on the left-hand side of the bracket in the semifinal. Your right-hand-sided semifinal, it is going to be the number 2 and the number 3 in the semi, so it was chalk and chalk as Lander makes it through, and then on the flip side, Flagler making it through, knocking off Aiken by the score of 7-2. So that is going to lay everything out in that one on Wednesday. So Wednesday at Van Taylor at 7:30, it is going to be the right-hand side of the bracket, and the Lakers are going to go to UNG on Wednesday, and that is going to be also at 7:30 p.m. On the women's side of things, one of the teams that we've been focused on all season long has been the University of North Georgia, and understandably so. Nationally ranked toward the top of the standings pretty much all season long, and depending on which poll that you look out, definitely top 5 in the country. And so you look at what happened, it was point to point to point to point. Wednesday, Flagler beat Tampa by the score of 1-0. That got us into the weekend. So Lander knocked off Beaufort in Greenwood by the score of 1-0. Flagler shut out GCSU by the score of 1-0 in Milledgeville. Columbus State 4-0 winners over Aiken, and North Georgia 3-0 winners over Clayton State in Dahlonega. The reaction after the match from the University of North Georgia, their own selves, as they piece together yet another win on an incredibly successful season when it comes to the women's soccer program. Once again, here's your post-game interview, catching up with how things laid themselves out as UNG makes it to yet another semifinal.
Here with head coach Kaylee Ralton after North Georgia picks up a decisive 3-0 victory over Clayton State in the first round of the Peach Belt Conference Tournament. Coach Ralton, your girls, they just seem to do this game in, game out. It seems like no moment's ever too big and no moment's ever too small for this team. They just kind of baseline, and they're always ready. What's that say about your group of girls you have in the locker room?
Yeah, I think it comes in the preparation. I think when you say they're always ready, it comes from work behind the scenes and in practice, and they're really locked in this year, and they're their pre-game practices are always really high intensity, and they're just preparing us for each and every game. Every game's a little bit different. It throws something different at us, and we're able to adapt and solve it. And that's what I love about this group is their adaptability. They're able to find ways to win.
Yeah, I want to talk to you a bit about adaptability. We see watching from the press box in these games, there's a lot of movement in this team. A lot of defenders moving all over the place. Schemes are changing around. I want to talk to you a bit about the defense. Obviously, you have Alex Clark, who just won the Peach Belt Conference Defender of the Year. But, I mean, it feels like everyone on this back line, it's just impossible to get the ball past them. Everyone's just doing their job at a high level.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They not only are they individually very good players, they're just really in sync. So they understand each other. They understand when one's going forward, where the other one should be, and they've just got a really great togetherness and understanding back there, which I think also adds to the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Seems like everything's working for y'all. You're going to have another game later on this week with the win. I want to switch topics a little bit, talk about you. Obviously, big award this week. You got your second Peach Belt Conference Coach of the Year nomination. What's that mean to you?
Yeah, it means a lot for the group. Okay, I think I wouldn't be here without the staff that we have, and then also the team effort that we have. So I think it's a team award more than it is an individual award, that one. So I wouldn't be here without them and what they're doing. So I think it's a great award to get because it's a nod to the whole staff and to the whole team. And when I say staff, I mean assistant coaches, graduate assistants, our trainer, and everyone behind the scenes as well. It's just a team effort. And, I think that just shows how in sync everybody is. Absolutely.
Well, listen, you're doing a great job at the helm of this ship. Your girls are playing fantastic soccer, and we're looking forward to watching this playoff run. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much.
The interview with Kaylee Ralton, once again, courtesy of the University of North Georgia, their own selves. And so when you look at what is now happening on the women's side, you've got your Final Four, and the quarterfinals recap once again. Left-hand side of the bracket, it's going to be North Georgia, your top seed Flagler, the 5, after they knocked off GCSU. And then on the right-hand side of the bracket, Columbus State, your 3, is going to be taking on Lander, the 2. So the 1, the 5, the 2, and the 3. And so that's going to be the rundown. And it is going to be North Georgia hosting Flagler, kickoff at 5 o'clock on the in the middle of the afternoon, and then the Cougars are going to face Lander, and that is going to be at Lander once again at 5 o'clock. So we'll keep an eye on all of that activity. And number 8, North Georgia, once again, Wednesday, 5 o'clock in the Final Four on the women's side in the Peach Belt. Next up, it's life in the SSAC. And in the SSAC, once again, you've got teams chasing after championships, and a lot of folks are wired toward Life and William Carey, understandably so. In the women's side of things, you look at what went down there, and it was once again the end for William Carey. And so William Carey, 2-0 winners over Life in Montgomery at the Emery-Fulmer Soccer Complex. They would get the championship bid. They beat Mobile 6-0 in the semifinal. Life beat UT Southern, the former Martin Methodist, by the score of 2-1. All of that was at Emery-Fulmer on Thursday, November the 6th. Carey and then Life would play each other on the final. Once again, Carey wins by the score of 2-0. So William Carey is your champ on the women's side in the SSAC. On the men's side, it would end up with Life and William Carey in the final after William Carey beat Faulkner by the score of 2-1. Life shut out Dalton State by the score of 2-0. Here's your highlights of Life and William Carey, brought to us by the SSAC and the Urban Edge Network.
Switch to Lovelock. He's got a little bit of space on the right wing. Looking for a service here. Flick back. Shot from Mulero! Daniel Mulero with a class finish. What a pass. We'll take another look at it. Niall Lovelock delivers it in. Flicked on beautifully by Pedro Chavez. And William Carey leads 1-0. So we'll stop the clock now and get it restarted as we're back underway. Del Rio flicks towards Burrigato. Burrigato gets to it. Gets around Green. Burrigato cuts back. Looks for a cross, top of the box. Nakayama! Kaito Nakayama makes it 1-1. A great build-up and an even better finish. Enrico Burigato has to hold up for it. So we take another look at it. Burigato chops back, wins a foot race with Lewis Green, finds Nakayama, takes a touch, puts it on the left foot, and slides it past Jamie Berry, who just had to guess which way that ball was going. Equalized here in the 38th minute. 30 seconds to go. Guerrero heads it out. Ball run out of play. Lazari tosses it in. Carrillo wins the header. Valero clears out. Chavez boots it far for carry. Now Del Rio turning. Plays towards Carrillo. Carrillo brings it down. Shot. Carrillo! Manuel Carrillo! Are you joking me? 1 second before halftime. A great ball in. Trapped by Carrillo. Takes one touch and fires into the opposite side. Are you kidding me, Manuel Carrillo? 2-1 life. Right at the end of the first half. Finds the Devin Korn now. Ball goes out towards Manuel Carrillo. Carrillo from Cucurella squares back up. Shot! It's 3-1! Luka Undereach makes it 3-1. A great build-up from the Running Eagles. And they've got one hand on the trophy. Luka Undereach. A great ball to Carrillo. Carrillo squared it up. And Undereach right there.
So Life University gets the win 3-1 over William Carey. Once again, recapping the box score in the big win for Life University as they've made it to the final. And this entire season has been Life and William Carey and Life, both on the men's side and the women's side, all season long. And so Life actually down 1-0 in that match. They come back for the win to take the conference tournament title, and they would come back storming with 3 goals straight after being down 1-0, and your final score once again by the score of 3-1. So that would now take us to the SoCon, and you end up with activity involving Mercer. Mercer gets both the men's and the women's side deep into the tournament. On the women's side, it would end up with Samford in the SoCon Tournament Championship game, but it would be all Samford by the time it was done. Samford put 4 on the board, 4-1 win for the Bulldogs going up against the Mercer Bears. And once again, coming into it, Mercer, the number 6 seed at 10-6-3, 3-3-3 in the SoCon against Samford, 12-2-5 in the overall, 7-0-2 in the Sun Belt Conference. Here is catching up with the coach Economopoulos after the semifinal, the Eichelbarner penalty over Western Carolina being the difference, and getting the Duke there to get ready for the matchup against Samford, courtesy of Mercer, their own cell.
Mercer defeats Western Carolina by the final score of 1-0 in overtime here in Cullowhee, North Carolina, to advance to the SoCon Tournament Championship. Coach, I just want to talk about you have to be so proud of this team. 110 minutes to come out and get a win to advance the tournament championship game. I'll just talk about the effort from your team here today.
I can't be more proud of these girls, what they've done all season. Our word all year has been resilience. From the beginning of the summer with the injuries we took through the course of the season, girls have just stepped up in massive ways. And, coming in today, we knew it was a big test. Western's a really good team, really well-coached team, organized. Powerful team, last year's 2-time defending champions. Tough place to play. And when we have to defend and be really rigid and tight, and take away their power of the two forwards. And I thought our girls did a really good job today. They stuck to the game plan, they bought in, and this group has a feel about themselves. And we told them, we didn't get the accolades some of them wanted individually from all conference. We used to use that as motivation in the conference tournament, and our girls have really fueled themselves, overcoming a big game on Friday with ETSU, this game tonight. So I couldn't be more proud of our girls, to come here in Colowee and beat the defending champions on their home field.
Game-winning goal came in the 109th minute. Those two seniors that helped draw the penalty. It was Cindy Farr that got tripped here in the box, and then Morgan Eichelbarner puts away the penalty. I was talking about having two seniors step up, and arguably the biggest moment of the season there.
Yeah, we had a conversation with the girls actually about a week ago when the NCAA said they're not going to add a fifth year. So we want them to know, because there was rumors of that happening, that this is it for you all. There's no next year like we were hoping to. And they were kind of surprised. We said, let's extend your playing career as long as possible. Let's get 2 more weeks out of you. So I was really proud of the work they've done. Sydney, great run, great through ball, gets a well-deserved pen. And Morgan stepping up, in a crucial moment, all the pressure's on her, and tucks it away. So I've been very proud of both those girls and the whole team. This group has been resilient. I think it's one of the best groups I had to work with overall, with all they overcame all year to come in again today and get the game winner.
SoCon championship next Sunday against Sanford. Let's talk about the preparation that's going to go into that and just embracing the moment. You're in a conference championship game.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy this tonight, obviously, and get the girls off tomorrow and start preparing the video for Sanford, which is, the current champions. And Todd's done a phenomenal job there. He's won a ton of championships. They beat a very good Furman team today in overtime, the same way how we won it on a penalty. It's a tough place to play. Again, they've won so many titles, so it's going to be a big task for us, but we'll be ready for it. Having a week off will be great for us to heal some players, get some well-deserved rest. We're really excited. Our girls know the job's not done. They have the pieces to win the whole thing. If we can come out how we have this weekend, I think it gives us a great chance against a very, 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 very good Sanford team.
Coach, congrats on the win.
Hey, thanks, and go Bears.
Great, as always, to hear from Coach Economopoulos and find out what's going on with Mercer. Once again, getting the big win against Western Carolina to get to the final in the SoCon, but losing 4-1 to Samford at the end of 90 minutes. On the men's side, it was a UNCG scoring in the 4th minute and then scoring again in the second half. It would be the 58th minute, and it would be UNC Greensboro over Mercer by the score of 2-0 at Mercer. And so UNC Greensboro gets the win, and they get to continue their soccer season in the semifinal. And so they're going to be chasing after the final now in the SoCon after knocking off the Mercer Bears. And so their season continues. Mercer goes into the matchup with a record of 5-8-4, 3-1-1 in SoCon. And so UNCG 11-3-4, 3-2 in the SoCon. They were the number 3 seed in the tournament. They ended the regular season ranked in all 3 major polls, the highest being number 19 by Top Drawer Soccer. And so working your way through the semis, Furman and Wofford, you're 1-5. That was in Greenville. And Mercer and UNCG, the 3 seed, makes their way through on the 15th or the 16th. Still waiting to find out the date on that, once again, at the highest remaining seed. So well done by UNC Greensboro. Well done by Mercer on the men's side as well. In the Sun Belt, it was a very, very interesting week there on the men's side, and we'll go through the women's side as well. You might have heard a very familiar voice on the women's final with Texas State and ULM, and Jason was on the call for that one on ESPN Plus in the Sun Belt. But on the men's side, it was, we'll get to the women's side in just a second. In the week itself, James Madison and Coastal Carolina had a 1-1 draw. West Virginia 2-1 at South Carolina. Southern and State went at it in downtown Atlanta. Maddie and Jason on the call on ESPN Plus, courtesy of ESPN Plus and the Sun Belt.
I think it's smart from Georgia State, especially you've had a couple moments, that ball just kind of going airborne a little bit, trying to settle it, gives you an opportunity to reset in that back and pick out another moment like this one here.
Gonzalez with the long diagonal for Hideto Gondo, heads it down. Robert Rivoni, back to the right. Sandro with the cross header, goal! Goal! Goal, Georgia State! Tom Williams puts the Panthers on the board.
That's why it's so important to take that extra time. Finding Gonzalez, he allows you to take that switch, that ball coming in. It's absolutely brilliant from Robert Rivoni to connect to Williams, who's driving in for the header as it just goes right into that far post. It's brilliant from the Panthers as they get the early lead.
The fifth year from England, Tom Williams with an outstanding header for his second goal of the season, and Georgia State take the lead here early in Atlanta.
To me, it's that tiki-taka ball. It's like back and forth, 1-2, 1-2. As soon as they get it to that right, it's automatically sent into the box. That creates a dangerous opportunity. Immediately, though, Tom Fiado just is all over the place. And Gondo, too, getting that last header as well. It's one of those things where defensively, Georgia State's been so solid stopping that run. But the Eagles are figuring it out a little bit.
Pierre turns out wide to the left. Holtz with that magical left foot. Can't find the angle for the cross, though. It's back to Morales. His left foot. Into the back of the net. Goal. Goal. Goal for Georgia Southern. I don't know if he meant it, but Manuel Flores makes it 1-1. Out of nowhere, Manuel Flores sends that in with the left foot. I think it's a mishit cross that just ends up in the back of the net. He doesn't care what the meaning was behind it. It gets over Marine into the far side netting. 1-1. Drop back inside to Dahlonega. Pierre pounces. Back to Bohms. Bohms can't turn. Pierre, good defending. Pixley comes away with it into the 18. And he beats Marine. Goal, 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 Georgia Southern. Mitch Pixley makes it 2-1. The pressure from the Eagles forced the turnover in the attacking half, and Mitch Pixley capitalizes.
It's a brilliant strike, just slips it right between the legs of Marine. But listen, I have to go back to the pressure before, because it all starts from the metronome himself in Pierre. It's that pressure immediately, putting pressure on Bohms to win the ball back that allows for Pixley to then drive forward and get the shot. You don't get that opportunity if he's not pressing the way he is.
Yeah, it's the pressure that forces the turnover. Georgia Southern able to build on their momentum and take the lead here in the second half.
Such a smart number 9, just getting in those pockets.
Strikers have to look for contact sometimes. Lewis does. Marine gets a yellow card. Not sure if something was said. Lewis will restart his routine. Backs up 5 yards. Shifts over. Lewis, goal. Goal. Goal, Georgia Southern, and they've got the 2-goal lead here in Atlanta. Goal number 8 of the season for Ricky Lewis, and the Georgia Southern Eagles might be turning the tide here in this rivalry tonight.
So Georgia Southern gets the win 3-1 in that one, and in that particular case, it was Southern, not State. Kentucky and Old Dominion, a 1-1 draw in Norfolk. Marshall over UCF by the score of 2-0. On Sunday, Coastal Carolina and Kentucky goalless draw. UK won 6-5 in PKs. Old Dominion, West Virginia. West Virginia wins 5-4 in PKs in Morgantown. Marshall over Georgia State in Morgantown by the score of 3-1. UCF over Georgia Southern in overtime in Lexington by the score of 3-2. So that sets up Marshall and West Virginia on Wednesday in Morgantown as the last game on the board for men's soccer. Also on the board, it was other action in a couple of other conferences. We'll run through what we know and who advanced where. Let's take a peek at the Gulf South Conference, let you know what happened there. And it was, once again, the men's soccer side of things, Mississippi College, West Florida, AUM, UAH. It was Christian Brothers, Montevallo, West Alabama, and Trevecca, the 8 teams that made it into the postseason. And staring at the composite schedule once again back on Sunday, West Florida wins, Mississippi College wins, AUM wins, and UAH wins at Christian Brothers. And so that's the the rundown of what happened on Sunday. And so we'll keep you posted with the rest of the schedule and the standings as we go on the men's side of things. On the women's side in the Gulf South Conference, the soccer semifinals are now officially set as West Florida beat UAH 2-0. Mississippi College upset Lee 1-0. The 7 knocked out the 2. Montevallo over Spring Hill 3-2. West Alabama beats Delta State by the score of 2-1. Semifinals, now they're going to be Thursday in Huntsville. West Florida and West Alabama is at 3 o'clock. Mississippi College Montevallo is at 6 o'clock. Once again, all of those are on the campus of UAH. Now, let's take you into the SAA, find out what happened there, and let you know that the Southern Athletic Association in their composite schedule, you have the final on Sunday of Berry College and Southwestern. That one was set for Georgetown, Texas, after Southwestern beat Center 3-1, and Berry and Trinity ended up going longer than the 90 minutes, and Berry advancing once again to the last game, going up against Southwestern. Now, on the women's side, in the schedule there, the Women's Soccer Championship, once again, Trinity and Rhodes, they were matched up as the top 2 seeds. And once again, Trinity punching their ticket with a win over Center. 2 goals from Hannah Kahn. Number 2, Rhodes, got their place, knocking out Swanee. And guided by the league's coaching staff of the year, the Lynx had a slow start coming back to the win. Both teams have spent time in the top 25 this year. Trinity, though, did beat Rhodes in their regular season meeting. They look to capitalize on home field as this one was once again set for noon on Sunday. And so you ended up with those 2 matchups in the SAA, and your final score your final matchup there in those particular rundowns from the semifinals into the final. So it was 1 versus 2 squaring off in the SAA championship. Now let's go into the AAC and let you know what happened there in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Once again, it's getting in all the way through November. Truett-McConnell loses to Tennessee Wesleyan in the AAC Tournament Championship. Truett-McConnell had won the regular season title. Tennessee Wesleyan, though, ends up getting the win in the conference tournament. So we'll see how this shakes out with the NAIA, with the dominant season that Truett-McConnell has had. Does it count in the NAIA postseason tournament? We'll get the chance to see there. On the men's side, in the Appalachian Athletic Union secured their tournament championship, getting the win over Milligan by the score of 1-0, finishing out the season 13-2-4, 9-0-3 in conference, and this one was at Union's house in Barberville. So Union Commonwealth once again winning their defense, by their defense all season long, knocking off number 2 Milligan. The shutout was the Bulldogs' 15th of the year, and they've only given up 5 goals all season. As in their 19 games, they've only given up 5 goals the entire way. Haven't allowed a goal since October the 11th. Shutouts over their last 6. Haven't allowed a goal in over 595 minutes of play. Ron J. Watson getting the goal for Union Commonwealth, and he was named the tournament MVP. It was a lot of folks for Union that were named to the all-tournament team. Oriel Perez, Lauren Furmeyer, and Patrick Taylor, Adria Alice, Mavrutis Katsatonis, and Freddie Zinn of Milliken, Ewan Brindley, Marco Mandelka of Truett-McConnell, Mahmoud Sheikh Ikya, and Jakob Roos of Pikeville. Union gets the automatic berth to the NAIA National Championship as the regular season champ. Milligan gets the second automatic berth as the tournament runner-up. The tournament bracket gets announced on the 14th, and so we'll keep an eye on the tournament bracket come later on this week. It's the first time Union has won the AAC tournament since 2019. And that's going to be your rundown of anything and everything going on in the Red Clay. The Red Clay Soccer Report continues, powered by our friends at NoFo Brewing, as we let you know who gets the rest of the conference tournament championships in the midweek, and we'll set up all of the postseason tournaments next time around here from the Red Clay. For everybody here at SDH, I'm just John. Thanks for dropping by, as you always do. Play it safe, everybody. Mucho platial. Enjoy the games, and be sure to fill out your brackets in pencil until we know who's in place.